everyone, it's Nicole and welcome back to my channel. Today we're working on a traveler's notebook spread, and this was using these pieces here made for documenting playlists, movies, tickets, that type of thing, media. This is the one that I had set up that in the very beginning that I was going to use some pieces for color cast design, and I had tossed around the idea of not sharing this, but then I thought, you know what, sometimes we always pull in items from our stash to use up kit. So I thought that I would do it because it is a very quick spread that comes together. It is very journaling heavy too. So I thought that I would go ahead and include that in, and this is going to be that spread. So for my papers, I am using my Cocoa Daisy papers in my traveler's notebook. They are the February papers. It is a multicolored, like watercolor looking one, and a dot grid. On the left side is where I'm going to keep all of my ephemera and my title, and on the right is where I'm going to use all of these labels that I pulled out from my stash. I'm trying to pick out the larger labels, and I'm going to be using these wood veneers from Color Cast Designs to document what stories I'm telling inside of those labels. They are listening, loving, making, and watching. I was drawing a blank on that last one. But as I go around and flip through these different labels, I will use those words as titles to the boxes, along with the coordinating photos that were the icon wood pieces that were meant to go along with it. I do toss around the left page quite a bit. I did cut the bulk of it out. I did have it laid out like this. Similarly, then I had the banner that said top 10, and I was really struggling with that piece. I wanted to use it because I wanted it used. I did not want it to land in my stash, and then I thought, haha, we're going to do this. We're going to do some color blocking, and I color blocked my pink items up at the top, covered up that top 10 with the other ticket, and then I went down my page and grabbed another yellow label, tucked the orange ticket in behind it, used the TV over top, and then I did the teal on the bottom. I actually really like how the left side of this turned out, even though I fussed with the pieces and the title of it quite a bit. But once it all landed and came together, I love it. And I think it's because I love all of the color on this, and it looks very, very mixed media-esque, which is my style without even having to do that mixed media. So lots of layers on this left side with tickets and tags and whatnot, and I'm going to start doing the same to the right. I am going to start just gluing all of these pieces down. I do have a helper that joins me in a minute. It is my pup. He really wanted to play and play tug of war. Then he was bringing me a piece of cardboard that you just saw there. And at this point, after I got my book down, I was like, okay, bud, listen, we're going to play for a minute because obviously we need to play to get it out. But I thought it was too cute, so I left it in there. But I do go ahead and stick this whole right side down, layering the larger labels, adding that playlist, even though it really doesn't have anything to do with a playlist that I talk about. It does say listening, and I do document what we are currently listening, so it kind of goes along with the theme, but I don't list anything, but it works. So I felt the right needed the layers that the left had. So what I used was these colored labels from my stash, and I color blocked yet again. I took the smaller labels and cut them in half, and I layered them on the top and bottom of the yellow, and then I did the same thing with the red. I do add it to the underneath of my I'm sorry, the orange I do add it to the underneath of the making label and down at the bottom. I try to do the top and the bottom. The only one I could not do that to was the red. And that was because he was already, this box already had that playlist label at the top. So I added one to the underneath on the bottom. And then instead of sticking the other half of that label back on my sheet to dye in my stash, I added it to the left side of my page around my red TV where I did not have a red label already put in place. And then I'm going to use this leftover piece of the teal because I did not have any teal stickers. I had a piece of that teal label left over from the left page, which I trimmed down to make it not so bold and a little bit thinner of a border like the others. And I will use that behind this wood veneer piece here. So for the left side of the page, I am going to work on my title. It's just going to be currently. I fail at using thickers. I fail at using puffy alphas. I really fail quite a bit at using this type of an embellishment. I struggle with it. I struggle with it a lot, actually. But I'm trying to use it to try to get better. I fussed around a lot with it. I put it at the top, then I put it at the bottom of the TV, and then I didn't like it because I felt like it got lost in the color. Then I put it back up at the top, and then it just was like, I can see this, but it doesn't stand out as a title. So now what do I do? So when I don't know what to do, I go on to something else, which was rearranging those 4 little dots. And then I started to embellish. I do come back to it. I promise I have a point. I start to embellish. And when I don't know what to do, I just start adding layers. And at this point, I had a lot of these washi strips left over. I really wanted to use them. So I'm going to go through and fussy cut the heck out of these and add them to everything on the left side of the page. I fussy cut the teal. I'm going to tuck it behind that bottom label. And then I am going to add another piece of it, and I am going to put it on top of that label to help cut down some of that white and to make that blend into the teal section a little bit better. Once I add those layers in there, I'm going to add in that little chipboard circle, and that bottom little cluster is going to be done. Then I'm going to move on to the next one. Same thing again. I'm going to fussy cut the heck out of this, take off all of that extra, cut it down in half, do some trimming, and I'm going to add that little pink strip to the bottom of that top tag. Once I get that down in there, I don't remember if I add any more. I don't think I did. No, I just went ahead and added that little fast forward or skip button up at the top. I was looking for orange. I did not have orange, but I had yellow. So I used the yellow to fussy cut out to tuck in behind my big orange ticket. I really love how this cluster turned out so much. But it was a little long, so I had to snip a little piece of it off. And then I tucked that behind there, and I decided to do one more because I really liked how the yellow looked. I decided to do one more little bit of a piece there around the TV. You don't see it quite as much. It doesn't stand out quite as much, but when you're looking at it, you can definitely see the curves in it, and you can see that in the close-up photos at the end. Just love how that it worked. Again, I didn't have any red, but I did have a dark pink. So I cut out a strip of the dark pink, and I put it down at the bottom of my TV around the red label. And again, it's so close and so similar in color that it worked, and it worked well. So then I put these back in. I get those rearranged on where I wanted them to go. That guy is going to go up there. But at this point, this is where I come back to my title. Like, I didn't like it. I felt like it was suspended. So I went back to the little embellishment tray, and I found this strip that says, "Let the good times roll." And it was the perfect colors, even though it wasn't color blocked. It was the perfect colors. It was the perfect length. It was the perfect landing strip. So we just are going to use it and roll with it, glue it down, and we're going to put that yellow Y right over the top of it. And even though it covers the R and part of the O and roll, you can still tell what it says, and we're going to call that side done. I go ahead and glue that pause button there, and that's going to finish it for the left. The right side, I'm going to add in all of my journaling here at the very end, and then that is going to be the end of this spread. I do make a boo-boo straight out of the gate on my journaling, but you know what? That's what whiteout is for, and we just carry on with the spread. I do end up date stamping this at the bottom left side of my page, and that's it, you guys. That's going to be the end of this TN spread. There's some close-up photos coming here for you at the end. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you hit that subscribe button and that bell. If you're returning, thank you so much for all the love and the support. I hope you have a wonderful day, and until the next time, here are some close-up photos, and have a great one. Bye.